For more on this discussion, we're now joined by DA Western Cape leader and Provincial MEC of Infrastructure, Tertuis Simmers, and he joins us via our video link. Tertuis, thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition. Of course, confidence being, backed there by the leader of the DA, John Steenhuisen, in the name Alan Winde for Premier next year.
Yes, indeed, and good evening, and thank you for this opportunity. I was there yesterday and as the provincial leader, together with our full PEC and all three our regional structures, we fully back the announcement of Alan Winde for a second term. Obviously, he's fighting for the people of the Western Cape, and we will be behind him every step of the way until the election of next year, when we will work very hard to ensure that he gets a clear mandate and even an increased mandate, even bigger than he got in 2019.
And of course, John Steenhuisen saying that he is the right man for the job. Do you believe that he will be able to lead the party to victory once again in the Western Cape next year?
I have the utmost and full confidence that Premier Alan Winde, who's also our Premier candidate, will be able to deliver on his mandate. We have seen since 2019 up until now that even with COVID-19, he's been consistent, he's been innovative. I've had the privilege of serving next to my Premier, seeing how his vision is unpacked, how he's re-engineering and introducing new methods, but also, cultural change within the provincial administration, and also how our citizens benefit from his vision. And obviously, as part of his cabinet, how as a cabinet, we ensure that we unpack that vision and that we implement that vision to ensure that at the end of the day, the citizens across the Western Cape benefit from this competent, visionary and innovative leader called Alan Winde as our Premier and Premier candidate for 2024.
And perhaps maybe you can just let us know, Tertuis, in what way has Mr. Winde been able to change the lives of the people in the Western Cape?
Well, indeed, through the various programs, we have seen an acceleration in service delivery. We have seen a focus across all spectrums. Some of these examples are, for instance, that we've managed to construct a school within 52 days. That happened last year over the festive season. We have seen in my own portfolio, which is human settlements in terms of roads, we have seen an acceleration of opportunities there. We have seen the empowerment of SMMEs through our various service delivery departments. Once again, my department being the biggest driver of that specific program of our provincial government. We have also seen skills development, and with the rolling blackouts heavily increasing, we have seen the premier focus on energy, for instance. And we have now successfully seen we as a provincial government put our money where our mouth is with over 1 billion rand over the next 3-year cycle. But we've seen the city of Cape Town and also key non-metro municipalities also coming on board, contributing a total of over 7 billion rand over the next 3 years. Once again, remember, this is a national competency, but as a provincial government, under his leadership, getting all our mayors on board, we are moving forward. We have also seen the introduction of innovative ways how we interact with government. We have seen an expansion of the use of technology to ensure that the citizens have access. One such example is in terms of human settlements, where citizens in our province can register on the housing demand database. You can verify your details in the palm of your hand. We have seen the expansion of the e-facilities across more facilities in our province. Indeed, under this Premier, innovation has also brought the citizen closer to government, but also ensuring that they are at the center of government. And the current term, there's a few months left, and I can tell you there's another few good things that are about to happen under his current term as we build towards his second term as Premier of the Western Cape.
And Mr. Simmers, something that the DA government is always criticized for, especially when it comes to the Western Cape, is of course, development in the townships. Maybe if you can just give us a bit of insight there, what have been the focus for this administration when it comes to developing the lives of those, in the less fortunate, communities in the Western Cape?
Well, first and foremost, we have seen over the last 3 years an expansion and an increase in budget allocated for infrastructure development, because without adequate infrastructure, nothing else is possible within even our communities which you referred to. And hence in the city of Cape Town, we have seen Our DA mayor there announced a 10-year plan, 120 billion rand infrastructure investment. In terms of the provincial government, we have seen in the non-metro areas an expansion and implementation and rollout of integrated human settlements programs. We have seen the expansion of school constructions. We have seen health facilities being upgraded and maintained. So, it's actually incorrect to make that assumption, but we also need to understand that we are doing all of this with limited resources at our disposal as a provincial government. And hence, as we move into the next term of office, part of the focus in terms of infrastructure will be on partnership, something that Alan Winde, as our Premier and Premier candidate, has focused on and will continue focusing on, because we do believe in partnerships with the private sector, but also the national sphere of government and, yes, local government. We can accelerate the delivery more so in terms of our areas which you refer to. But there's a great success story to tell if you look at our delivery since 2019 in terms of settlement development, in terms of secondary economy investment through my colleague, indeed that, in terms of safety focus areas, the LEAP focus, which is we have seen a massive budget spend of well over R1 billion, over 1,200 LEAP officers on the ground. Once again, keeping these specific communities you're referring to safe. So in a whole of government approach, incorporating the whole of society on our journey, we have truly proven to date, since 2019, and even before he became even Premier, that we are taking the whole of the Western Cape along with us on this journey, taking our communities as the key partner to along us with this change that we are focusing on as the DA-led Western Cape, once again with our Premier and Premier candidate for 2024, Alan Winde.
And another problem that has been faced in the Western Cape, and quite particular the city of Cape Town, is the problems around taxis and Santaco. Is this an area that he will try and intervene to ensure that, the province is not affected by the transport problems which we saw in the past couple of weeks in the Western Cape?
Well, as a DA Western Cape, similarly like our federal structure, we do believe in the rule of law. And what you saw in Cape Town was exactly a DA government maintaining the rule of law. But, during COVID-19, we saw the pilot project called the Blue Dot, once again under the visionary leadership of Premier Winde, trying to formalize and work with Santaco and the taxi industry in our province. It went down quite well. Once again, it was a provincial pilot to try to prove to national that by formalizing and state subsidizing, the taxi industry, we can actually formalize them and work better together. And this is a call, and I do believe the Premier might at some stage also touch on this, that Blue Dot was a pilot of a provincial government, showing what national government is supposed to do and actually can do if they have the political will and they are willing to work with key partners. And that is proof, once again, that came out under the leadership of Premier Alan Winde.
Tertuis, thank you so much for your time tonight. That is Tertuis Simmers, DA Western Cape leader, as well as MEC for Infrastructure Development.